We're looking at our multiplication facts. We've already looked at the numbers 0 through 5. Now we're looking at 6 to 12, multiplying by the numbers 6 up to 12. So as we're looking at this, how do I multiply numbers is my essential question. I'm learning how to multiply integers together is my learning intention today. Pause the video. You've got 6 warm-up questions. Can you do those on your own? I do hope you tried. When you multiply by 1, you get that number back. So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 4. It would be 4, 8, 12. So this would be 12. 3 times 4 is the same as 4 plus 4 plus 4. Both of them equal 12. 5 times 4, 20. I know that when I multiply by 5, the last number has to be either 0 or 5. If the number you're multiplying 5 by is even, then it will be 0. If it is odd, then it will be 5. 3 times 5 is 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 15. So, let's see what happens with the rest of the multiplication tables. 6 times 0. Anytime you multiply by 0, you get 0. 6 times 1. When you multiply by 1, you get the number back. 6 times 2. 6 plus 6 is 12. Now, each time it will go up by 6. 6 times 3, 18. 6 times 4, 24. 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6, 36. This is your perfect square. The square root of 36 is 6. 6 times 4 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 11 is 66. 6 times 12 is 72. Each time it will go up by 6. 42 plus 6 is 48. 48 plus 6 is 54, and so forth. Now, the other interesting thing is when you're multiplying by 9, it's easy to remember because 6 times 9, well, this first number is 5. Then I ask myself, 5 plus what is 9? 5 plus 4 is 9. The digits themselves will add up to 9. Okay, so what does multiplying by 10 mean? Well, when I was learning to multiply, I thought this was so neat. Because 10 times 1 is 10, and then it goes to 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. Multiplying by 10 means you add a 0 after the number you're multiplying. So I'm multiplying by 2, 10 times 2. So I have that 2, and then I add a 0 on the end. 10 times 7. I've got the 7. Then I add a 0 on the end. 10 times 10. I've got the 10, and then I add a 0 on the end. 10 times 10 is 100, 10 times 7 is 70, 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, how are you going to learn your multiplication tables? Well, you have to memorize them, and your brain finally will remember all those numbers and how they go together. But to be able to do that, you must practice, practice, and more practice. Multiplying integers 9 or smaller by 11 means you just repeat the letters twice. So 9 times 11 is 99. You repeat the numbers twice. 9 times 11 is 99. 2 times 11 is 22. Write the other multiplication facts for 11 from 0 to 10. So 11 times 0 is 0. 11 times 1 is 11. Okay, I've got 11 times 2 up here. What do you think? If you think 33, you would be correct. Okay, if you didn't get the last one, let's guess on this one. 11 times 4, 44. 11 times 5, 55. 11 times 6. 11 times 6, 66. 11 times 7, 77. 11 times 8, 88. We've got 9 up there. 11 times 10. Okay, oh my. Well, I'm going to use the fact that when I multiply by 10, I just put a 0 at the end. 110. Okay, so thinking about all these multiplication facts that we're learning, which facts seem to be the easiest to learn? Well, I think multiplying by 0, it's simply equal to 0. Then another one that's really easy is multiplying by 1. You get the number back. Okay, are there any others that are really, really easy? I'd say multiply by 10 because you just put that 0 at the end. Okay, if there's any others, make sure you add them to our list. Which multiplication tables seem to be the hardest to learn? If you said 5, I'd argue with you because it will end either in 5 or in 0, so that makes it pretty easy. What about multiplying by 7? What about 8? 6s maybe. What about 8? What about 9? Ooh, that one is easy if you remember that whatever you're multiplying 9 times 7. So I drop it down one number, not 7 but 6. 6 plus what gives me 9? 3. 6 plus 3 is 9, and I've just figured it out. So, multiply by 7 or 8, you might have more that you would add there. You might have multiply by 3 or 4. Whatever seems difficult to you, write down. So, how do you know when you're successful? You know you're successful when you can remember the multiplication tables from 0 to 12. So you're successful when we can memorize the multiplication tables. Make sure you're using the flashcards. We've got some online resources that are in Google Classroom that you can use that are really fun. They make it into a game, and it makes it more fun to learn if it's a game. So let's work on our multiplication tables from 0 to 12.